What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Juicy Talk. What is so hard? It's the first sentence.
He's already welcomed us in like 8 times.
I'm sorry.
This is the first sentence. We got like 40 more of these.
We got 40 more sentences, big dog.
You got this, alright? Those people in this room are doubting you.
Y'all ready? Yeah. Alright. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Juicy Talk, a fitness podcast. I'm joined by my fellow NASM trainer, Brandon, and tech master, Tommy. Alright, Brandon, let's get in your background a little bit. Just tell us a little bit about your fitness journey so far.
Let's go. So I used to be a college athlete. I've been training since I was 14 and I got into training about 3 years ago, seriously, got my certification, and I use it as a way to have a little fun, get in shape, and try to help people along the way.
Are you training for anything specific right now?
Honestly, just training for myself. I just want to stay fit, and every day I just kind of go in there with a plan of action that's kind of thrown together, but I have a little fun and just looking forward to beach season.
Fair enough, fair enough. What about you, Tommy?
So I've been kind of working out not my whole life, but like on and off. My dad kind of introduced me at an early age, which has been great. I have a military background, so I learned some more stuff in the military and working on and off with personal trainers and not. So learning along the way, and yeah.
Any training for anything specific right now? Any
Nothing
goals? Anything?
Just beach season. Goals is to look good in the mirror. Yeah.
So
And,
all right, targeting
how about you?
Oh, me? All right. So a little bit about myself. I've been doing triathlon since the age of 15. Went semi-professional at the age of 18. Competed in the World Championships at the age of 18. Kind of ended my career when I was about 20, 21, and trying to actually train to be a professional Spartan athlete over the next few years. So that's what I'm trying to train for, and that's the goal.
That sounds horrible to me.
Oh yeah.
I hate cardio.
It's not that bad once you get into the shape that you need to be. It's just kind of steady trucking at that point.
And why not mud runs? Why Spartan?
Mud runs are fun and they're great.
They just sound great.
They sound
great.
so wonderful.
Oh man.
It's too muddy.
Well, there's
Not even that muddy.
Well, I don't want to down anyone that does mud runners because each their own. Everyone.
Yeah, they're not real athletes.
Oof. Okay, well, there's that. There's that perspective. I would do a mud run with my family.
Fair enough.
Okay.
A Spartan is a race not with just everybody around you, but with yourself. I won't act like I'm a Spartan expert. I've only done one OCR race, but I fell in love with it the first time I did it, and enough to literally put myself through agonizing pain every day with training. Literally moving to doubles.
This is healthy,
week,
right?
So I just feel like there's a little bit more of a challenging aspect to Spartans compared to mud runners.
Mm-hmm.
That answers your question.
That does.
That's a great answer. So pretty much this podcast is just for anyone trying to fit fitness into their life. We're just three gym rats with three different fitness goals, sharing our journeys and how you can get the most out of the gym.
Absolutely. And so we're here to like basically talk about a couple things in today's episode, but number one is like, I guess primarily goal setting and like how to properly set a goal. And so you guys being the trainers and me not being a trainer, it's probably appropriate.
It's gonna work perfectly.
Like start like, I mean, I would probably make my goal like way different than you guys because you're trainers. So I mean, I guess take it away. How about you? Like
Yeah. So Tommy's like putting it nail on the head. So like it's great to have like two trainers and like somebody who's not a trainer. So we have like a little bit of understanding about how you actually set a goal.
Well, let's just clarify. We are certified by the same people, NASM.
I know.
We're both NASM
Unbelievably
certified. So it's not like we're getting two completely different like training aspect.
Mm-hmm. At least when it comes to this.
Yeah, when it comes to like
well,
when it comes to goal
you guys
setting,
have a much different philosophy.
Yeah, when it comes to actual training.
Well, that's just fitness in general. So there's the foundation, which is what goal setting is, I like to call it. So fitness can branch off into a bunch of different areas, but really it can all boil down to the foundation, which is your goal.
Yep.
So it all starts from there. So setting the right goal. How do you do that? How does a person who maybe is like pretty far along in their fitness career or hasn't even started, or someone who's very far along, using the right goal setting techniques is what's going to set you up.
Well, you got to be smart.
Exactly, smart. And guess
Smart.
what? What does that stand for?
Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and it's T.
Do you really not know?
Timely?
Time? Wow. Oh my goodness. 5 for 5.
Wow.
The suspense.
Yeah.
Some bitch.
So, smart is something that a lot of people use. It's just a tool to help you set the right goal. So, being a tool.
Like Brandon.
Wow.
Some people don't like
All right,
it.
look, just because you're calling me the beast
And
does not
that's
make
just
me a
part of
tool.
nature. So, smart is just a tool that people use to set a goal. And I think it's important because you might not need smart, right? You might be intuitive enough about your own body and what you're looking for to not need this kind of tool. But
It's
for anyone
just kind
out
of base
there,
outline.
yeah, it's just a way to guide yourself. So when you use smart, it's just pretty much what brand stands for. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's timely. So when I'd be talking to clients when I was training, I would ask them what is their fitness goal. And most of the time, people would give me the cookie cutter answer, I want to lose 10 pounds. And I'd say, great.
Hate to hear it.
Yeah, that's great. I want to see, you're in the gym, you have an idea that you want to get into fitness and you want to see some results. So why did you say 10 pounds? It'd always be my counter argument. And they would say, I don't know. I was like, why not 20 pounds?
That's where they
30,
assumed
40, 50,
they wanted
100.
to be.
Yeah. So people just pick a number in their head, whether it's through the influence of their friends or the influence of people they see on Instagram, Snapchat, anything they get influenced by. Some reason 10 pounds always seems to be the standard. And I say, if you look the way you want to look and you haven't lost a single pound, what does that say about your goal? Did you set a right goal for yourself? And most of the time they would say no. You know, most of the people out there, it depends if you're obese and maybe diabetic and weight loss is the real key indicator if you're getting somewhere. Most of the time people just look at the scale as a way of saying progress. But if you really want to set a right goal for yourself based on where you are right now, it needs to follow the kind of guideline that they set. Not saying it has to be exactly word for word what SMART says, but it needs to follow something close to that, because otherwise, if you're not setting the right goal, you're up for failure because you have no idea if you're going
you don't have a
backwards.
good foundation.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, there's no reason to continuously go after it, because
Exactly.
eventually it's going to crumble.
Exactly. So do we use SMART anymore at this point of our lives?
I don't even know what smart was.
Bingo. Exactly.
Bingo. So, no.
That's exactly. And
Honestly,
there's no reason why you should. It really it doesn't really come up too much in your daily life. Like,
Dude,
why would you use this?
The only thing like I get out of that was the attainable aspect. Like that's probably the only part you should probably get from that entire goal setting is the attainable part.
Well,
Yeah.
Brandon, as a trainer and an athlete, do you use SMART?
I like certain pieces of it. I really don't care too much about the timely part. I know a lot of people set a time limit on their goal, And I've just discovered over the years that this is going to be a long-term game. Like, there's no end goal. Once I started, there's no going back. I'm not going to just stop working out once I lose the weight or if I get to where I want to look. But I do appreciate something that's specific and measurable. So
Fair enough.
This is where I kind of use SMART. I do have a specific goal in mind for myself. Brandon mentioned we all have 3 styles of fitness. So for me right now, I want to put on lean mass, right? So that's specific. And then you can get even more specific. Now that I know I want to put on lean mass, I know what kind of workouts I should be doing. I can't be doing a lot of high intensity strength training and losing lean muscle mass, and I have to make it measurable. So how do I know if I'm going up in weight, if I have to go for a certain amount of reps? So I have to take care of my plan the day before and know ahead of time what I should be trying to hit for the certain amount of reps based on the usual weight I've done before, and try to progressively overload the muscle. And based on Brandon and Tommy's type of training, you could use a SMART the same way, but for their type of goals. So if Brandon's trying to go for endurance, how would you make it specific and measurable?
So for me, I'm not always going for endurance though. Like I talked about earlier, you know, with me being a Spartan athlete or striving Spartan athlete, not only am I having to set, you know, specific, you know, running goals, but I have to set specific, you know, strength goals. Because if you can't lift the Atlas ball, like you're gonna have to do burpees.
Yeah.
If you can't do the rope climb, you gotta do burpees. If you can't do the sandbag carry, you have to do burpees.
Right.
So if the strength isn't there and I'm not where I need to be, like
more
at
of
the
an
time
athlete.
of a race.
Yeah.
So I mean, with the whole my specifics are endurance training and strength training, measurable. I usually use the number on the bar. You know, I do progressive overload with all my training, so that's how I measure my strength. But with my running, it's either there's so many different ways you can measure your running, whether it's your heart rate and your efficiency, or it could be your mile time. It could be, you know, you just want to track your run cadence. So
I mean,
there's so many different aspects that you can measure with either way. That like attainable. I set just super hard goals for me. Y'all know me. I like to train for annihilation. So, you know, that's probably where I have the hardest part of SMART, is because I like to set these sometimes not reasonable goals.
I was kind of the opposite. I would set like really easy goals.
It's
almost
I know,
like
but that's perfect.
Too easy. and just get 225 like every freaking day. Like,
and sometimes that's better because
Damn, it feels good.
I'm achieving this. Yes, I'm thriving.
I always knew I'd be something.
Like
sometimes that's better though, because with the way I do it, you can get injured and you can, you know, cause damage that you don't want.
But that's what makes SMART so good. It's really just relevant to the person. Like so
exactly.
Yeah. So even though we don't use each piece of it, it's nice to take a lesson from at least some of the letters. So
you don't have to use all of it, but like,
just
be
take
smart.
note of it.
Be smart about your goal setting.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
Just take note of it. Use it as a guideline.
Exactly.
Say. Yeah. So that's how each of it. Tommy, you were into strength. Pretty much, we call him, you know, Muscles camera over here. So if you
I feel bad for that
your,
camera sometimes, seeing the way he manhandles
The way he
that
grips
thing.
that
I
thing,
feel like
man.
it's gonna snap it. Like,
Lord.
oh shucks, guys, making me blush over here. But for me, I mean, I obviously, you guys know, like, fucking wrestling, like, wanted to be like the biggest dude in the room, and to measure that it's by weight. But you know, no one really talked about being 5'7" at like 250 pounds. This is not reasonable.
God,
so,
it gives me the shivers just seeing that kind of guy walking.
Yeah. So like the one time that I really had the most amount of time in my life to really try and get there was when I was in Korea. I wasn't deployed necessarily. I was stationed over there. And so like I just had after work, I just, go to the gym for X amount of hours, and like I would go to the gym like 7 days a week, man. Like it was just nonstop.
Good Lord.
Because I didn't that's all I did.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like work and then go home and do whatever. So I would eat a steak and then have like a 6-pack, and like it was just the most unhealthy bulk. But I got up to 180.
Sounds like
I
some
wanted,
people's dreams.
like I really wanted, and then like I saw a picture of me, and like I thought it was like a brick shit house. Like, oh man, none of my t-shirts fit me anymore. This is great. And, like,
Gonna have to go up to a medium.
yeah, right. And then like I saw a picture of me, and I was like, oh, dude, I was such a fat lard. Like, dude, I had the biggest titties and like big old belly. It was bad.
Oh
So
my god.
when you're talking about goals, man, like, yeah, like there's attainable goals, and then there's like reasonable goals and things like that, but they change all the time.
Mhm,
Like, so
yeah.
don't get stuck on that,
On that one goal.
Yeah.
So
That kind of goes into the next point. It's just like that's.
what are some mistakes?
Yeah.
And that sounds like a massive mistake.
A big mistake.
So we're just gonna
A big
we're just
mistake.
gonna skip you on this one, Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Bro,
Sorry,
you-
did I do the best? No.
You are. No, you're a
man,
mistake.
you literally went into that perfectly.
Yeah, segues.
So Brandon, have you made any like real big mistakes with like your goal setting?
Oh yeah. So I definitely tell myself like focus on being conscious. Like what you're doing, give it your full attention. There were so many times that I would go through the motions and I would honestly waste my time. There would be no point in putting the effort into what I was doing if I had no idea where I was putting that effort. So figure it out earlier on. Just tell yourself if you're gonna be working out, use the effort to actually work in the muscles that you're planning on working.
No, I agree. And honestly, like,
I don't know what that laugh is about.
So
He's like, figure it out, motherfucker.
Yeah.
figure it out.
Dude, somebody
That's not
figure it
how
out.
it's, no, that's not how he's coming off at all.
So wow, boys.
Not to
wow.
get you off track or anything.
Yeah,
But any mistakes you've made?
Any mistakes I've made?
That haircut for one.
Oof.
Definitely tell your younger self.
I personally haven't made any mistakes. Tommy, can we ask
wow.
you the same question? No, I'm
We
just
already
kidding.
know mistakes.
So yes, and I'm gonna use one a little bit more recent than like my triathlon training because I definitely made a lot of mistakes back then. I was fucking 15 to 18 in my like prime, so there's bound to be mistakes that young.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go back when I first got certified. Dude, I was like, I want to be 185. I have no weights. It's going to be calisthenics only. I'm going to continue eating the way I'm eating. I was at 120 at the beginning of 2020.
Jeez. I'm
And-
surprised you didn't fly away.
Yeah, I know, dude. I hated
Tie a
it.
string to you.
And like I was like by the end of the year, 185 off of calisthenics, eating like about 1,500 calories a day.
And you're how tall?
6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So long story short, I did not know how to set goals or set them in a timely manner or yeah. Let's just say sitting at 180.
Nice.
Yeah, I weighed myself yesterday when I was doing arms when I probably shouldn't have been.
I haven't set that on a scale in a while. I probably should.
Yeah, I expect that number to go down though because I'm doing cardio now. Although I've been eating a lot the last few days. I started tracking my stuff, my
Especially
my
if you
calories
have
and my macros. Yeah, and like 4,000 or 5,000 calories easily, just munching. I can't stop
Well, yeah,
eating.
I mean,
Gotta feed the machine.
because you've been, you've just been freaking.
Well, like I've noticed, like I don't know if y'all noticed, but like I've noticed.
Yeah, you're looking meaty.
Looking juicy, bro.
Real juicy.
But
Capri Sun.
Yeah.
double pack,
Juicy
double
juice.
pack Capri Sun.
Oh man.
This is Mott's apple
But
juice?
that actually
Vulture's
kinda,
grape juice.
Yeah.
that actually kind of leads me into the next topic, boys. How would you describe progress? What is progress? How do you define progress, Brandon? What is like, what is progress to you?
Progress to me. What a question. I mean, I took the time out of my very busy day, a digital marketer, to actually look up the Webster's definition of progress. And what they have to say is it's movement to an improved or more developed state.
We're going to have to copyright that.
Yeah.
Not my definition.
Now, when I think about progress for myself, so progress is relative. So what that means is it's based solely on the person inside of the process.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not comparing my progress to anyone else but myself. So that's the only fair way to do it.
Let me step in. Let me step in real quick. Let me ask you this.
Ask.
This is getting juicy.
What do you think the average person thinks progress is?
A six-pack.
In fitness.
A
Well, the
six-pack.
scale, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, they read that. You know, that's probably their number one go-to.
Mm.
Yeah, like you're always hearing in like infomercials or weight loss ads. Lose 10 pounds, lose 15 pounds, lose look better on the scale, look better on the scale.
And X amount of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pseudoscience, where it's like six-pack secrets.
Yeah.
Like people want a six-pack. People want to have low body.
So the
fat.
average person, like their progress is like watching that number either drop or go up depending on their goal, like their fitness goal, and that's their feeling is when they look at the scale. So once again, I'll throw the question back at you.
Oh, it hit me.
Ooh,
Right in the
excuse
face.
me. What is progress to you? Like, what is progress in your training?
So it's changed recently. Before it was to lose weight and get a six-pack like everybody else. It was very vague. And then once I moved to that point where I was kind of getting leaner, now it's moved towards getting my PRs up. And now I'm chasing strength. So for me, like I said, progress is relative. It'll change with you. So the only way you could actually nail down what progress is to just look forward, what it means to you going forward. What are you looking forward to? So if you're going to move towards whatever you're looking forward to, that's a sign of progress. So
Oh yeah, my goals
keep
changed.
that in mind.
Like,
yeah.
dude, my goals changed as soon as I met you guys. Cause well, not met you guys, but started working out with you.
Yeah.
Like, I was, working out with myself, and I was just like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna, like I said, 225 every day. I'll be fine with that. But now my goal is to outlift you motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's just pure competition. Purely ego-based.
Not progressive at all by any means.
Yeah.
But
yeah, progress needs to be catered to you. So there is no real definition of progress. All right?
I agree.
Movement to an improved or more developed state. Yeah, that's the definition of it in a dictionary. But for some people, if you're a strong man, progress to you is being able to outlift the next strong man. If you're looking forward to beach season, progress to you is seeing a little more definition. If you're looking forward to a wedding, progress to you is fitting into a dress. If you're looking forward to improving your PR, bench pressing 1.5 times your body weight is a step in progress. So really, they correlate with each other, goal setting and progress, because without the right goal, you won't be making the right kind of progress that you're looking for.
I agree. I agree.
All right.
there's one point that you have here that I want to highlight. People have it backwards. You don't get motivated, take action, and then see results. You take action probably, for the most part, for a long, long time, and then you see results, and then you get motivated.
Exactly.
Honestly,
that is really like the key.
That touches me because when I first started getting really into it at the beginning of the year, like I saw like little.
You just had to suck it up.
I saw little to no like progress.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was trying to do calisthenics while doing endurance training while eating below 2,000 calories a day. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, you're not gonna see any progress.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see any like development.
No.
Like anywhere.
Tell you what, for the first 2 months, I was like, "This is bogus.
This is
Nobody's telling the truth.
This is fraud.
I haven't seen any progress.
So
I haven't
lied to me.
seen any kind of results.
The gym's not real.
Yeah, I gotta say,
games don't exist.
I was playing sports and I was able to eat whatever I want. I was competing at a high level. Why would I care about how I eat or how I work out and what's the difference? But then one day I was looking through my phone and saw like pics of me from 2 months ago, and then fast forward to 2 months to today, and I saw like how much work actually like happened. Like, because you look at yourself every day in the mirror, you have no idea what's actually gonna happen in the long term, because you are your worst critic. You see yourself every day in the mirror.
Oh, dude.
You are telling yourself, I'm moving nowhere. Nothing's changed. This is a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that I honestly think that people could measure a great movement towards progress, if leanness is your goal, our progress picks, and like it gets easier with your weights on the bar and strength.
That's why I always encourage like my newer clients, you know, and I know they hate it, especially the.
It can be very uncomfortable.
It can definitely get uncomfortable, but you know, in the long run, it's definitely.
Yeah. But even if it's not shirtless pics, look at the weight in your face. So you got people who lose a lot
like
of
I'm not
weight
telling
and,
you to strip and you know.
Yeah. My face is getting so fat.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people, it is good.
Thank you.
I didn't even say anything. Could have used the extra 15 minutes ago.
So we've talked on goal setting, and we've talked about, you know, viewing progress along the way to that goal and to see if you're actually making a difference. Also, I suggest that if you are on a training program and you've been on it for 3 or 4 months and you're not seeing progress,
switch it up.
switch it up.
Switch it up.
Switch it
Yeah,
up.
for sure, dude.
And that's why you know I like to hit our PR list every 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. About there. Maybe 6 to 8.
Yes.
Maybe 8 to 10.
Yeah.
8 to 10. 8 to 10
Whatever
weeks.
it is.
No,
it's not short.
14.
No. It's usually.
It's not the next day.
It's usually 8 to 10 weeks
not tomorrow,
before we do our lift off. But
Yeah.
I mean, have we not every time we've gone to a lift off hit a new max?
Yes.
Dude, I'm pretty
so
sure
far.
like we even tried.
And not
Yeah.
even just hit like new maxes, but like absolutely just like
crush it.
So
It's weird. So yeah, and the name of the game is like muscle confusion too. I mean, but
Yeah.
Dude, we can go on and on.
Yeah, I know. We can't.
Yeah, we can't.
So-
We can't do this to you guys.
We can't do
this
this. Not in the first episode. All right, so pretty much I'm gonna put a stop to this. That wraps up the first episode of JuicyTalk, a fitness podcast. we set you
so long. Yes.
we set you up to start planning your goals and what you need to think about as you start your own personal journey. All right.
Figure it out.
So pretty much learn from our mistakes and learn from
Each other.
Beautifully said. Well
Sorry,
said, yeah. All right.
It's a late night, man. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock at night. I've been up since 5.
We should have
Yeah,
more content too. So we got the weekly recap coming up and everything else.
Yeah. So
Oh,
got
yeah.
a few
Look forward to
YouTubes
that.
coming out. YouTube videos coming out. So make sure you check those out. Also, we'll leave a link below in the subscription about description. Sorry, yeah, it's time for me to go to bed, boys. Description with Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just follow along, and I hope everyone kind of
Keep it juicy.
Oh yeah, and everyone, most importantly, keep it juicy.
Keep it juicy, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.